Hey, good morning everyone. Long's Adventure here. So I'd share a little story. So last night we were winding down for the evening. We just finished dinner. My wife was going upstairs to shower, and I was just kind of hanging out with the kids. My son, he's been obsessed lately with this game called My Singing Monsters, and there's also like videos you can watch on YouTube for it. And so decided to put on a video for him. For that, also gave him the remote control so he'd have some power in terms of deciding on a video or choosing the next ones or skipping ads. And I was working on some video edits and like making thumbnails using Canva for some other things. And also my daughter, she was kind of playing some games or looking at some things on the tablet, so things were going pretty well. And then all of a sudden I had finished an edit and realized I could not download it, and I didn't hear anything from the TV as well, and that kind of clicked that the internet had gone out. And yeah, of course my son was like, oh, my Singing Monsters isn't working, and I had explained that the internet went out, and not having internet, it's hard to actually look up things to see if there's an outage. Of course I could use my phone's mobile data, so I was able to try and check that, but it took a while before any reports really started coming in, besides me reporting my own that there was an outage. But yeah, it was something that you don't really think about, and something that we just kind of take for granted and just expect to have or rely on. Now I was happy that I was pretty quick about it. I was able to turn on which is like a game console that we turned on, and run a game that my son likes, so he's able to play a racing game. And he did start out, for a little bit asking when the internet was going to come back, things like that, because he just didn't understand that something like that could be out and not working. But after a couple minutes, he was able to move on from it, and he was playing the game, and things were fine. And I worked on some other stuff, and kind of looking at some books and things with my daughter, and then she also was watching my son play the game on the TV. And I think probably within like 20 minutes or so, the internet did come back, so that was always good. And I asked my son, I was like, hey, the internet's back, we can switch back to the My Singing Monsters if you like. And of course that's what he wanted to do, which is totally fine. When you give the like a child control of like, hey, you can do what you want in terms of like watching the show or the game you want to on the TV. It doesn't have to be just stuff that dad wants to watch. I want to make sure that he had that time, because it was limited time in terms of being able to do that before we were getting ready for bed. But it's also a reminder that I'm just getting old too. It's not something we really had growing up, and we didn't rely on the internet for so much back in the in the 90s or so, outside of just having fun with it. And AOL chat rooms were kind of on the rise around that time when I was a kid. And now, we rely on it for so much, even outside of just entertainment. It's also a form of, how we communicate with others around the world. And I'm just happy I was able to stay calm amongst it all and quickly think of some alternatives to keep them entertained. And mainly just because they still don't understand what it means for the internet to be out. But yeah, just a short chat about yesterday's evening that I would share. So hope you guys all have a lovely day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.